Welcome back to Mostly Thriving.
Where to the world it may look like we're thriving, but really we're just mostly thriving.
We are in the thick of holidays.
Yeah, we're here. Middle of December, kind of.
Yeah,
we're a weekend.
We had said, we were talking about, okay, let's recap the week. Like, what did we do this week? And when I looked at the calendar, I'm like, holy crap, how did we fit all that in 1 week?
Yeah, and I think that was our cue that it's officially the holiday season.
Yeah.
Da, da, da.
But I honestly love all of it.
Yeah.
I feel like I thrive in chaos, and it gets stressful, but it's all fun things. Like, nothing is anything that I don't want to be doing. So there's nothing of the week that I would have taken out.
Yeah, I think I saw a friend post something. I was like, our kids have said for the past 4 days, this has been the best day ever.
Yeah.
Like 4 days in a row. That's
so
pretty
fun.
Though.
Yeah. So looking back at this week, just like a little recap. So we had Red Wings game on Tuesday, which is always fun with the kids. It's so fun watching Jordan now be so into it.
Yeah, I love when the Wings score a goal, they both just stand up and are dancing to the Eminem song that they play.
But Jordan's so cute. He's like, hockey's the goalie. It's just so cute.
And Mo Saido.
Yeah, he just loves it, and I love that he loves all the things that AJ loves. Like, you can tell. It's funny what an instinct it is, like, just for little kids to follow their big siblings.
Yeah.
You know?
And us.
Yeah. But it's cool. Like, anything AJ likes or says, like, for some reason, our kids are in this thing where when we drive in the car, they want, like, the navigation map on so that they can watch it. And I don't know where that came from or where it started, but now every time we get in the car, AJ will say, like, can you put the map on? And he wants you to put in the destination so he can, like, watch it. But now there's been times where it's just Jordan in the car and he says, map on?
Map on?
Map on?
Map on. AJ will ask me why we're not taking the other route now, or if we're driving on the highway and one lane is moving 1 mile an hour faster, and he'll say, Dad, why aren't you in that lane?
Yeah. It's just funny. Like, I don't know where that started, but It's funny now that he picks up on that. But Thursday night we had Lions. We have Lions season tickets, but I was like, I will gladly set this one out. The game was at 8:15 and it was the right move. You
hate to be those parents or that married couple that's like telling the couples below you, like, as far as like timeline wise, you do not realize how late 8:15 start time for a game is until
I knew. And I said, why don't you take your mom? That would be nice.
We were sitting there, and I think after the first quarter, I was like, it's 9:30. I'm so tired. And then halftime hit, and the discussion and conversation between my mom and I was just like, it just plummeted. There was like no talking. It was staring off at the field. Both of us were exhausted.
And I want you to know that I was at home. Kids were asleep. Let me paint the picture for you. The fire was lit.
I can see it.
The Christmas tree was twinkling. I had my Lola blanket on the couch, and the Red Wings were on. And so I was doing that. I think I had like chocolate covered pretzels.
Okay, you had me until that. But
I was asleep by 10.
That is glorious. Amazing. That's amazing.
Anyways, then into the weekend, it was really fun because our kids have become really good friends with, well, AJ, really Jordan too, but mainly AJ became really close with a few people that he used to go to his daycare with. And then they all now go to different schools and whatever. So we don't see them all as much. And so Friday night we had planned, like, he still plays hockey with one of them, and we had planned a little kid Christmas party where they came over. They all wore pajamas.
They did Secret Santa,
which was really fun because we want our kids, obviously, like, there's a lot about Christmas and holiday that's surrounded around presents and like that stuff.
Gift getting.
Yeah. And I wanted them to learn about gift giving. And so AJ and I, picked out the gifts for who he had. And we've been working on, like, what would this person want? Not what would you want, but what would they like? And thinking about them, and then just like the joy of gifting. Like, AJ thought it was so fun when he was like, oh, she's going to love it when she opens it. Like, it was just really fun. And it was cute to see like that happening at, 2 to 5 year old.
Yeah, it was cute.
Age.
And then Saturday, the boys went to a Christmas parade without us.
Yeah.
With some grandparents, and we had a whole day.
Yeah, AJ had hockey in the morning, and so they went with them from there, and the parade wasn't till the night. So we both were like, what are we going to do all day?
Yeah, you really had a you day, too, because you had a breakfast in the morning, a women's breakfast, and then I sent the boys after hockey.
Yeah.
And so you just kind of got to do your thing, which rarely happens for you. So I'm glad you got to do that.
Yeah, it was good. I came home, I took a nap while you watched the Michigan State game, and then we went to dinner. If you guys have never been to Sylvan Table, if you're in Michigan, it's in
Sylvan Lake.
Sylvan Lake.
Yep.
Or somewhere around there. Yeah. Waterford, White Lake area. It is the cutest place.
It's awesome.
It's amazing. It's like an old barn, but like the vibes there are 20 out of 10.
Great vibes, great food. Yeah. Rotating menu that's farm to table. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just so good. And then we went to a movie, that Now You See Me, Now You Don't. And this is like the first, we don't really go to the movies ever. And I love the movies. A good movie.
Let me just tell you, I recommend that now you don't see that movie.
Yeah, it wasn't good, you guys.
It was bad.
It was really bad. It was so bad that I looked at him and said, should we leave? And I don't ever do that.
And let me tell you this. That was about 30 minutes into the movie. And about 5 minutes into the movie, I was thinking that. And so I was just kind of riding out the storm. She looked over at me and said, "This is really bad. We could leave." And I said, "Okay, let's leave."
I just feel like our time is so precious that it's like, we don't have the kids. Like, I would much rather just like go home and like, I don't know.
So I felt that there was a general consensus and agreement between the two of us that we were leaving. Amanda throws her coat on, which is usually a signal that you're leaving. And then she sat there for like 2 minutes, and I was like, well, maybe she's just waiting for me to leave. So I decided to be the leader of the relationship, and I put my fist down and I stood up and I left. And I thought for sure my wife would just be following me as this leader in charge out of the theater of this terrible movie. I got to the bottom of the stairs. We were in the very back of the theater. So I'm like marching my way out of this place. And I turn around at the bottom to see that Amanda is still sitting in her seat at the top row, just eating some popcorn, enjoying a scene of the movie.
Listen, right as he got up, the plot suddenly got interesting.
I just kept leaving. I just was like, well, I guess I'll see her in the car. There's no way I'm swallowing my pride and going back up the stairs and sitting down in this awfulness.
The movie is about like a heist and it's magicians. And so like the whole beginning of the movie was them doing this thing that everything I was like, this is so stupid. None of this makes any sense. This is not magic. Like, they're not even showing us how they're doing it. And then right as TJ got up, they like replayed it back and you could see like all the behind the scenes. And so I had to get closure on it.
We should have known from the beginning, heist and magic trying to mix together. But the first movie,
it's a sequel or a trequel or whatever you want to call it.
A trequel.
I think it was
a series of trees.
A trequel, but the first one I loved.
Yeah, well,
it was really good, and I love heist movies.
Whichever number this was, don't see it.
Whatever, yeah, it wasn't good. So that was amazing, and then Sunday was actually really fun too. We went, which there's so many things I want to get into with holiday. Maybe our next episode we can touch on just like a little bit of holiday stuff, but we're going to Florida this year for Christmas with TJ's family, which is like one of my favorite things that we do. We go every other year. He did it every year growing up, but because, I have my family and his siblings and all that, we're all on the same rotation. So every year we all go and we're all there for like a week, and it's just the most incredible, just like really like out of a movie family time, like game nights and just dinners, and the kids are playing and we're all swimming and we're going to the beach. And like, I just don't feel like families nowadays make time like that to spend together where everyone's committed and we all have the same desire.
Yeah, Florida forces that, like in a good way.
Yeah, but not even forces it. Like, everybody genuinely wants to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everybody wants to go there, and we do the same things. Like, I get like fuzzy thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so excited. Fun.
I'm excited.
And it's so great. And so TJ's mom is the Christmas cookie maker, and we just literally have like this bottomless pit of cookies. But every year it's like, somebody's got to make them cookies.
Yeah.
And usually she makes them all, which this year for the first time is like this epiphany to me of like, when does she make all these cookies? Because they just show up and we just run out of a tin, and then we go to the freezer and we get another tin, and there's just like cookies for a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so she was like, I'm putting my foot down in like it's not like that, but it was just funny. And she was like, we're having a Christmas cookie bake day, and everyone's coming over, and you're all going to help me make cookies. Yeah.
And so we did just that. And I was just kind of thinking like, that is kind of the beauty of the holidays, of just when else are you going to get together with your family to just bake cookies
Yeah.
and just talk. And like when you're baking cookies, all you can do is really have like quality time and quality discussion. What else
Yeah.
are you going to do? You can't sit in front of a TV because it's usually in the kitchen. If there is a TV in the kitchen, it's kind of just off in the background. It's just as you're there together and just enjoying each other's presence. And I think that's a pretty beautiful thing.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
And
I didn't bake a single cookie, but
no, but you were with Jordan while he was napping and all that. But it was fun and it was good and whatever. So we're excited about Christmas. We were talking this week about what we wanted to do on the episode, and we had a fun idea. And so yesterday we decided that every hour on the hour, from the moment we wake up to the moment that we go to bed, we are going to just individually write down what did you do for that hour. And we're just going to go through, because Mondays are usually like our most typical day. You know, like sometimes Fridays are like a little flexible. Sometimes I'm not working as much on Fridays, whatever. But Mondays is both like wake up, kids are at school. We're both like in the thick of it with work.
pretty structured, pretty busy day.
Yeah. So this is like a pretty good look at what each of our days usually look like. And I think it'll be fun.
Two very different careers.
Yeah.
Two very different businesses.
Yeah. So if you're listening for the first time, I run an Instagram account called Come Stay a While where I show mostly DIY projects. I'm on like a little bit of a break right now just for holidays, and I just share a lot of family chaos and moments, and you know, I have a full team and it's our livelihood. Like it's been amazing. And
yeah, and I am a co-owner of a veterinary hospital locally that is a general practice and urgent care. And so my days can be very different from one day to the next. They are never the same.
yeah. So I thought that would be fun. So let's jump into that. Why don't you...
Okay, my day.
Let's share yours first.
Fine.
Okay, so this is a day in the life of TJ Vernacey as a veterinarian and vet hospital owner.
Yeah.
Hit me with it. What time did you wake up?
5:30 a.m.
Okay.
Hit the ground running straight to Orange Theory Fitness to get a nice little HIIT workout in. I didn't notice this, but for the first time I was waitlisted to get into a class, and I forgot to even tell you this. I got there and they're like, "We'll get you into the class." And I was like, "What? Of course you will. I pay to come here." And they're like, "No, you're on the wait list today." I was like,
Crap.
gosh, I just woke up at 5:30 to get here and I'm on the wait list. And I got on the treadmill and everything was good. But anyways, so I did
How many days a week do you wake up at 5:30?
let's call it 4
Okay.
to 5. That's the goal.
Want to know how many days I get up at 5:30?
Yeah.
0.
0.
I'm not a morning person.
I love the mornings. But so I work out. It starts at 6. I work out from 6 to 7 on Mondays. I get home, immediately get the boys going, get them woke up, get them ready for school while you're getting ready, because Monday is your day to take them. And I get their breakfast ready, and then I get you guys out the door.
Yeah, so we have this like, I don't know if it's unique or what, but I feel like maybe like 2 weeks ago when I posted our like morning, it was just like a vlog of just how our morning was. And it's pretty much both of us tag team every morning. Half the week you take them, half the week I take them. And usually the person that's taking them to school is like the secondary to getting the boys ready.
Yeah, that person has to get them ready or get themselves ready.
Like I can take them if you help me get out the door. And then you
Yes.
can take them if I help you get out the door. And then we each have time after to get ourselves ready once everybody's out the door.
Right. And priority number 1 is getting the person taking them and them out the door.
Yeah. Which I think has been a really good balance for us, especially with this new school schedule where our boys are at different schools.
Yeah.
Because it used to be like we had 40 more minutes before we had to get out the door to take both of them. So that was like quite an adjustment. But I feel like we're in a good groove now.
Yeah, we're finding the groove at least. I don't know if we're always in it, but
Yeah.
we're finding it for sure. So you guys are out the door by 7:30. Usually 7:30 to 7:50. I'm eating a little bit of my breakfast that I had made when I was making the boys' breakfast. And now I'm trying to spend a little time in my Bible.
What did you make?
I had those protein waffles.
Those are good.
Protein waffles, those Kodiak.
Kodiak. Those are
Kodiak, I usually do that. Little light peanut butter, banana chopped on top, honey and cinnamon sprinkle.
good. Fancy.
Yeah, it's so good.
It is really good.
It's so good.
Okay.
So 7:30 to 7:50, I'm eating breakfast. Yesterday I listened to Andy Stanley's podcast. He's a preacher in Georgia
Yeah, I
or
think so.
North Carolina or
I
something
think
like
it's
that.
Atlanta.
Yeah. Anyways, he's very good. He has had a episode on self-righteousness and it's really good. You
What
should
does that
listen to
mean?
it. Okay, great question.
I know what that word is, but I don't know what that means.
The way he explained it, and he kind of just touched on it I think just to kind of touch a nerve with some people, just a little bit, or not touch a nerve, just to challenge them in the way you think, is that when you think of the way you think and the way you process, whether that's political, religious, or any topic, sports teams, and all you can think is that your way is correct and that you need to show everybody why your way is correct. Basically, it's a lack of listening, and what I think it boils down to is lack of listening and understanding to other perspectives, and understanding that
Close-mindedness.
very close-minded.
Okay.
But people, what's funny is, and when those people walk in a room, the whole room is almost walking on eggshells, or is aware of that self-righteousness topic that they might have, so they don't bring it up.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's just this kind of very closed-minded thinking viewpoint, and I think that is a very big challenge in the world today.
Okay.
So anyways, really good podcast. I didn't even tell you about that, but I thought it was very interesting, especially going into the holidays where you're spending time with family, where I think that self-righteous mindset is what is going to pull people apart. This drive to when she's there, I'm going to bring this up and I'm going to show her why this is right compared to last year, and all that. So
Okay.
it's interesting. Okay.
So you're listening to that as you're getting ready and doing your thing.
Usually eating breakfast, usually some worship music kind of thing. Monday is my day where I actually have 30 minutes in the house by myself in the morning to do that.
Yeah.
Which
One
is
thing
nice.
that I'm actually realizing while you're saying this, I think when people think about when you go to church and they say try to spend time with God at some point during the day, and then it's you get to the end of the day and you're I never thought about it once. That happens a lot in people's lives. But I think it's, yes, getting quiet, getting alone, and spending time with God, whether it's in the Word or listening to a podcast or whatever. But it doesn't mean that has to be the only thing that you're doing. You can very easily listen to a podcast while you're driving to work, or listening to some sermon, or you're doing while you're making breakfast. I just think it's a different mindset to think about, that spending 20 minutes that way is better than no minutes at all by the end of the day.
Yeah, I would say that, at least the way I look at Jesus, and is that he's not picky. He's not asking you to do it in a certain way or in a certain posture or anything like that. You can just do it when you feel that you can do it. And for me, if I don't do it in the morning, it's not happening. Right. And so I really prioritize that.
Okay. Let's keep going, because I know by the time you get to the clinic, I know you had an insane day yesterday.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Which is pretty typical, but I want to get into that.
Okay, so
it's 8.
8 o'clock, I start getting ready. It takes me about 15 minutes, and then I'm out the door. And I get to the clinic at 8:30. Appointments start at 9 o'clock. So 8:30 to 9 o'clock, I'm there. Good morning to everybody, checking in with everybody. Usually glance at my schedule to kind of see, like I said, we're in urgent care. So there are several appointments typically on a Monday morning that are coming in that you can't prepare for. So I look at 8:45. I see that one of our receptionists is booking an appointment for a 9 o'clock possible broken leg on a dog. And I have other appointments throughout the day that are already scheduled, but that was the first thing I saw right out of the gate.
So did you have an opening at 9 a.m. or that was added and now you have 2 at 9 a.m.?
No appointment opening. We have spots for urgent cares. So in theory, yes, but that's just how we're staffed. So we're a little bit overstaffed so that we can accommodate these.
I just mean you had another patient at 9.
Yes.
Now you have a potential broken leg patient also at 9.
Correct. I had a 9 a.m. appointment.
Okay.
My 9 a.m. appointment was another challenging appointment. It was a rescued dog that is heartworm positive, which heartworm disease is a very serious disease. If it's not treated, it can kill the dog. Treatment can kill the dog. So then I'm going over this pretty touchy, situation. I've never had a dog have a bad treatment, but it is really, really requires a lot of diligence on the owner and the veterinary staff to take this seriously. And so right out of the gates, we're hitting the ground running.
Okay.
Broken leg, dog comes in, the owner is showing our technician or our veterinary nurse the leg on this dog, and it's just back leg is just flopping around, dangling. And that's
What
usually
kind of dog?
probably a pit bull mix.
Okay.
Just
Cute one.
Yeah, cute, typical mutt.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really care. The dog doesn't care at all, which is kind of awesome. But at the same time, his thigh on his leg was this big around. It was huge. It was so swollen. And so right away you're thinking either dislocated hip or fractured femur. And they thought the dog may have been hit by a car because he chased after some deer. We took x-rays. His femur was completely shattered. So
you showed me the picture. It was like if the bones connect like this, they were like...
Yeah, and then several different pieces.
Yeah.
Probably like 4 or 5 pieces to the bone. Yeah. Which, that's a whole nother thing. So I finish up my 9 o'clock appointment with the heartworm positive dog. From 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., I'm working with these owners. This is a challenging part of the day. It's a husband, wife in the room, and the husband grew up in a rural area where you don't really spend that much money on animals, which I relate to. My dad was that way. The wife is not that way, is ready to like do whatever it takes for this dog, and has obviously is ready to spend some money on veterinary medicine. Now, I can't fix this. I need to refer them. And so now I have staff members calling around to different clinics. I'm calling different clinic owners to see who might be willing to do a surgery like this. Typically requires somebody with a lot of experience in this kind of surgery or somebody who is a board certified surgeon. Again, a lot of experience.
So explain, just this is me wondering, so other people probably are too.
Yeah.
So you guys do lots of surgeries there. You have a surgery suite. What makes this different?
This is different in the sense of back in the day, a lot of veterinarians would probably take a swing at this surgery because there were no board certified surgeons and there was really not a ton of different techniques and development of medicine in our industry. And so also, if you didn't try, who was going to try?
Right.
Now there are boarded surgeons who do 2 years of a rotating internship, probably a surgical internship, and then 3 years of residency, all after vet school, which is 4 years, and then prior to that, 4 years of undergrad. So you're looking at probably anywhere from like 14 to 16 years of college, 8 of them post undergrad, which is just crazy. And then that's all they do is these surgeries. They don't ever do vaccine appointments. They don't ever treat diarrhea cases or urinary tract infections. This is it. They do orthopedic surgery. And so now if I didn't refer them, the worry would be, or if I didn't mention it to them, the owner could come back and sue me if it didn't go well because I didn't send them to the best of the best option.
If they said like, we would rather take the risk and do it cheaper with you, would you do that?
Not on that one.
No.
Not on that one. We don't have the setup for it. I don't feel like I would be providing a good service for them. I feel like it would be a disservice. I would refer them to another practitioner that would want to swing at it. But I honestly found one, but they couldn't get them in for 2 weeks. And this is a situation where they need to be seen.
What is like
soon.
the price difference they'd be looking at?
I honestly don't know. Probably $1,000.
Okay.
But the estimates that they were given was anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 on this dog's leg. That being said, the really hard part of this is that I know if this dog gets surgery done, it's gonna do perfectly fine, as long as they take care of it post-operatively for probably 8 weeks. But this dog is a 5-year-old dog, and the discussion in the room is wife wants to do it. Husband is deciding whether he wants to put the dog down or not.
That's hard.
And then my role is somehow trying to get them on the same page. Kind of like you feel like a marriage mentor sometimes, and that's a challenge.
So will veterinarians euthanize animals because people can't afford to fix the problem?
Yeah,
or
sometimes.
How does that work? Like, could it or would it be a situation where they're like, we can't afford it, and then you're like, well, that just seems so sad to like, one, to put it down for that, or two, to be like, well, someone else will pay for it and then they get to keep your dog like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's like tough. Yeah,
it's tough. In that scenario, I probably would not euthanize it. I would splint the leg and just hope for a miracle. It would end up in that leg not healing appropriately, but maybe it would heal to the point where it could live. But yeah, there are certainly certain conditions, like diabetes is very expensive to treat in animals. There's a disease called Addison's disease that is thousands of dollars to treat. And if they don't have the treatment, they will die. And so at that point, you do pursue humane euthanasia because there's endless suffering there.
I get it when it's like that, but when it's something that's like, this is such an easy fix,
Yeah, I guess it is an easy fix, but at the same time, so is diabetes, so is Addison's disease. I know how to treat it.
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess a broken leg feels different to me than a disease.
Yeah.
I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's that.
So what time is it now?
Okay, so that's from 9 to 11. In between all that, I'm squeezing in a recheck.
How many, when you say in between, you're saying like in this still 9 to 11 window?
In 9 to 11, when I'm calling around to different appointments and our technicians are calling around, we are also still seeing the other scheduled appointments that were already pre-scheduled. So I had 2 rechecks in that period, and they're pretty easy. I'm calling owners back from last week, kind of touching base with them, seeing how their pets are doing, giving them lab work and diagnostic results. Sometimes hard, sometimes easy in doing that.
How many appointments do you have like going on at one time?
Typically 2 to 3 an hour.
Okay.
Of scheduled appointments.
Right.
Then you fit in these urgent cares. Urgent cares are booked for 45 minutes. Okay. And so usually we're fitting in an urgent care an hour as well.
Well, let's say like someone has an appointment at 9:30 and they have a 45-minute slot. They don't get your attention for 45 minutes, right?
No.
It's like you might be...
It depends on the situation.
Well, I know, but I mean, you might have 2 45-minute appointments going on where you're like in one and then you come out and then the tech is in doing something. So while she's in there, you're over here doing... Like it's multi-dimensional.
I would say that I plan on every appointment taking 10 to 15 minutes of my time. Mm-hmm. That being said, rarely is an appointment sitting there that it's not taking somebody's time. Like they're not just sitting there and nobody's working on it.
I just meant for you. You're ping-ponging around these exam rooms and you're like, okay, this one's sad. These people are upset. This one's a puppy. This one's like, you have to shift your mind to like appease the room.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Sorry, keep going. I'm just trying to like, it seems so normal to you. So when you say like between 9 and 11, I squeezed in these things, to me, I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah, you're just kind of high and low and all over.
As you go through these, give me more of like a timeline.
Yeah, so that's from that appointment got there at 9. I don't think they walked out the door until 11:30, and there was somebody doing something on that the entire time. I was involved probably for an hour of that appointment.
What did that one end up doing?
They did end up, I think, booking with a boarded surgeon in Flint, which is really good. Because, again, what I had to convince the male owner in the room was not so sure that it was going to make it through all this. I had to convince him, and he was in human medicine, and we call that, that's also a normal term in my world, human medicine versus veterinary medicine. But he was in human medicine, and he just didn't really understand that, like, this carries a good prognosis. This is a good thing if we just fix it.
Right.
And it's money well spent.
I have a question for you and the listeners.
Yeah.
At what age do you think is like too old to invest? You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like there's this gremlin 15-year-old dog with its tongue hanging out and people are still like, I would do the $5,000 surgery. And I'm sure that just comes down to like the pet owner. But is there a point where you're like, I wouldn't recommend this because, like, let's say they have a crazy disease, but it's risky for them to go under, probably be fine, but they also could die because they're old. Like, how do you balance that, or do you not?
Yeah, I look at it like it is definitely personal preference. There's definitely a line for us that we would not cross. Diesel's 14 years old. If Diesel came down with some sort of cancer right now, we would not pursue oncology for like chemotherapy or radiation therapy.
We would just give him the best life for the year or two that he has left.
If he was 3 years old, yeah, I would probably, I'd give it a really good try for sure. Now, other conditions, it kind of just depends on the person.
Right.
There are people that will spend 20 grand on a 15-year-old dog because they need to have that closure. Mm-hmm. And that's a part of the profession that I think you have to learn how to juggle, because a lot of people walk away from their old veterinarian or come to us and they feel like they're being judged because of the decisions they did or didn't make for their pet. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, nobody wants to feel that way. And it makes me so sad when people, I'm happy and sad at the same time. I'm happy that they're in our clinic now because they're just not going to get that feeling with us. Mm-hmm. And if they do, I blatantly tell these people is if you do feel that way with us, please contact me directly because we're doing something terribly wrong. Mm-hmm. Because veterinary medicine, no medicine is, but especially privately owned veterinary hospitals is not meant to be a cookie cutter experience.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be personalized.
Yeah.
So 10:15, a client stops in. I had done an abdominal ultrasound on this dog, or an ultrasound of its belly, because it's not been eating for like 7 to 10 days. And he's getting very frustrated at the amount of money that he's spending on this dog. We're not giving him results. I understand the frustration, but at the same time, we need to run the diagnostics. He runs in to pick up medications. I haven't reviewed the ultrasound with him yet because we send it out to a boarded internal medicine specialist. And so the report is on my desk waiting for me to review. And so he's like wanting answers. He's in the lobby just popping in, like as if I don't have a dog with a fractured leg here trying to figure out where for it to go. And right. I don't expect clients to know that, but there should be some sort of like awareness of just dropping by is a tough thing to do with a schedule like this. Right. So 10:15, we fill his medications and we get him out the door. I don't talk to him about his ultrasound results because I haven't done that. 10:30, I have a 1-year-old dog with hind leg issues. So his back legs, especially one leg, was bothering it. And a 1-year-old dog, this isn't normal. And we do x-rays and turns out it was born with a malformation to its hips. It has hip dysplasia. And I'm now having to refer that dog to an orthopedic surgeon. And that was a elderly woman and her elderly mother that I had to explain that to, who were not picking up what I was putting down. And so having to get in their bubble was a whole nother thing. So that was 10:30. Keep in mind, I'm still trying to find a clinic for the first appointment of the day at 9 o'clock. It's broken leg. I need to get them in. Owner of that dog then, which again, people say things and they just don't quite understand what they're saying, is it very seriously and somewhat frustrated at me is, why don't you just have an orthopedic surgeon here? And to which I said to her very nicely, I said, well, they don't really grow on trees and they're really expensive. Like the amount of surgery I'd have to give for an orthopedic surgeon to employ an orthopedic surgeon. Oh my gosh. If we had them, every orthopedic surgery would be $10,000. Right. So anyways, people will say things and you've just got to let that roll and just be like, they don't grow on trees.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this last time, but people come in such an emotional state, and I feel like there's such a connection to their pet that it is a place where, like, you get the brunt of emotions that aren't directed at you. Right.
It results in, like, people being unreasonable and saying things that they don't even really realize what the weight it carries.
Okay.
So, yeah, I had to let her down on not having an orthopedic surgeon. 11:15, I had a recheck ear infection, which, good news. The ear infection was gone. It was a very, very fast appointment. It took me 5 minutes. That gave me time to catch up a little bit. And at 11 o'clock, before that, at 11 a.m., I had a dog come in that was attacking all the other dogs in the house consistently, nonstop. Always a threat to it. They had to keep the dogs separate. And now there were young children that were coming into the mix. And there was a legitimate concern that the dog could bite a child. Mm-hmm. And so they were pursuing humane euthanasia of that dog because of that. And now so it's just like all over the place.
Yeah. That hits close to home because, so we had a dog named Sammy, which if you've been around Come Stowell for a while, you probably remember her. She was tan and we loved her to death. She was like the sweetest dog, but she had dog aggression. And just like, not in just like she saw a dog and wanted to attack it, but when we got married, he had Riley, our Sheltie, and I had Sammy, and I had Diesel also, who we still have. But she had no problem with Diesel, but for some reason she did not like Riley. And every time that they would be fine. But if there was food, she would get really protective over it.
A loud noise.
Loud noises. If there was fireworks or thunder or you drop something, like it was like immediately she would just attack him. He would be like asleep. Like I felt so bad. There were so many times that he had to go and be stitched up by you.
I think I stitched him up like I was telling. So when this client came in, I actually talked to her about that because they're obviously very tore up about the decision. And immediately I just telling her like, I support you in this. I've been through this. And I felt really bad because she came from a veterinarian that convinced her to keep trying about a year ago, which I do think there is something to be said for trying. But at the same time, when little humans are involved, or if consistently the dog is biting people, look, at the end of the day, it is a dog, and you have to take care of yourself. And it's not because of lack of effort on these people's part. I mean, the efforts that you have to go through, and we've been through this with Sammy, of like separating them when this happens, predicting thunderstorms, predicting fireworks, predicting kids dropping things on the floor, predicting the mailman coming, predicting the UPS man coming, like the things that set these dogs off. And then you go, okay, it's not just a dog they're attacking, and I don't mean just a dog. That is a tough thing. The things that you have to predict, it's like impossible.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because we put her on medications. We put Riley on medications so that he wouldn't like respond to her, which would then trigger her. We did behavioral, we took her to Michigan State for behavioral counseling or whatever you want to call it, consultation.
Yeah, veterinary behaviors, aborted veterinary specialist who does behavior in dogs.
We did everything that we could, and we went down the route of like, should we just rehome her? But then it's like, she's got these issues, like that's just going to happen in another home where like then a child could be whatever. And she didn't have a problem when we had AJ. Like there was no issue. Nothing to him. But there were several times that she would attack Riley and he would be nearby, where it wasn't like she was going to go after him, but it became where if you tried to split them up, like the dogs and they're fighting, she would bite you for trying to separate them.
Which isn't unreasonable either for dogs. So I don't want people thinking like, oh, that's crazy, that's why we did it. The problem is the last time that we allowed, that it was like, okay, this is it, was that she got in a fight with Riley right next to AJ. I went to break it up and she bit me in the side of the face.
Yeah.
And that was the point where
it's like she would go like she was in a trance.
She was in a different dimension.
Because even after she bit you, I feel like she knew like, oh my God, I didn't mean to do that.
Right.
Like that is how it felt. I know that sounds really silly, but that is how it felt. She was like really loving to you after that.
Yeah.
And I was like, it literally felt like she was like, I didn't mean to. Yeah. And that was the last line for us, because it was like, if that happened to my kids and they've got scars on their face forever. And
then to rehome her to, okay, you get her to a home that there's no kids and no other dogs. It's the perfect scenario. Who's to say kids aren't coming into the picture? And now I feel responsible for that.
Right. So that was really difficult, but we did end up putting her down, and it was the best decision that we made. Yeah.
So that was a hard one, right in the middle of everything going on.
Sorry, that was a tangent, but.
Yeah. At 12:30, I just had an annual exam, a dog that I hadn't seen in a year. It was really great. Owner's really nice. Just a young lab, really good. And then 12:45, we're about to go to lunch. We get a phone call that a really good client of ours, a dog that's had this slew of issues. I feel so bad for them. But the groomer accidentally, while trimming the beard of the dog, cut the dog's tongue. And probably...
Cut the tongue?
Cut the tongue. Like full thickness through and through. This dog's tongue had like a 1.5 inch clean cut. And it was just... It came in. This dog's face was just covered in blood. And now I figured out what we're going to do around lunchtime was I was debating on whether I was going to suture it closed, because tongues don't suture very well all the time, and dogs will, rip those sutures right out. But towards like 1:30, when I was trying to decide, the dog, I don't know, the blood pressure spiked, and all the clotting that was there just blew off of it, and it was just dripping blood out of its mouth. And so we made the decision that we needed to suture that dog's tongue. And so that was how I ended my lunch, which was... You
sent me a picture of it, and at first, because it's like everything is like gowned off, and you just have the tongue sticking out of the gum, the gown, I thought you amputated the whole tongue.
Oh, yeah.
Because it just looked like...
It did look funny.
It looked like a tongue just sitting on like a cloth.
Yeah.
But really, it was just like you had a hole and had pulled the tongue out.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh my God, he lost his whole tongue.
We had to take the tongue. So that was not great, but it's
How do they like eat and stuff after that?
Soft food. Put them on a soft food diet but the good thing about the mouth is it heals pretty quick. I was
just going to say that.
Yeah. But it bleeds a ton. There's so much blood.
Does the groomer get in trouble for that? Like, what happens?
Depends on the owner. I would imagine the groomer would cover the cost of the vet bill that day.
Ugh, the thought of cutting tongues are like,
Well, they're really meaty.
ugh,
Yeah,
that's gross.
it was crazy.
Okay, anyways.
So
So then you ate lunch.
So it came in right as we were going to lunch. We decided at about 1:30 that we were going to do surgery on it. So from 1:30 to 2, they worked on getting a little blood work on the dog to check to make sure it was okay to have some pain meds, and then we started getting the dog under anesthesia. So from 1:30 to 2, while they were doing that, I was scarfing a little bit of food and calling the owner from 10:15 who stopped in to get medications, and his dog had the ultrasound done. Mm-hmm. And I had to process this like whole...
What'd you eat for lunch?
What did I have for lunch? Oh, I had some of that chicken piccata. Reheated.
Yum.
It's good. And some tortilla soup.
Nice.
It was very yummy.
Okay.
But it was very scarfing your face, just quick going. So I talked to that owner about the ultrasound. He was generally receptive. I was a little surprised. I had to put that dog on some injections that the owner was going to do at home, and I did not think he was going to go for that. And I was worried that we were going to be euthanizing that dog. So that was cool. 2:00, I fixed the dog's tongue. 2:15, I have another urgent care that is coming in for ADR. Do you know what ADR is?
No.
You got any guesses?
Um,
We did this once before.
ADR.
It resulted in you saying something about vaginal.
No, what would ADR be? Can't think of anything that starts with an A.
Ain't doing right.
Oh, I knew that.
Ain't doing right.
I knew that.
Real fancy. So
that's actually like that's a real thing, you guys.
Yeah, that's a veterinary thing.
Yeah.
But that's
ADR, ain't doing right.
They call it, hey doc, my horse ain't doing right. What's wrong with it? I don't know. Ain't doing right. And so I had a cat coming in for ADR, ain't doing right. So we sent out some lab work on that cat. I'm gonna get the results of that probably tomorrow, and I will be digging into that. That is Wednesday's problem. And so I gave that cat some anti-nauseas, and it's been ADR, it's been ain't doing right for a couple months. And so we're digging on that. So that's all pending, and we'll pick up that on Wednesday at 3:30. I had my partner, Dr. Andrews, I had her see one appointment for me because I was suturing the dog tongue, and then I had my ADR cat. And then 3:30, I had a recheck of a dog's ruptured anal gland, which, happy to report, is healing nicely. Unfortunately, now that dog also needs an orthopedic surgeon because it tore its ACL. How do you rupture
your anal gland?
It's just this, I think, like a little anatomical issue in dogs where their anal gland gets plugged and it keeps making the fluid that fills the anal gland, and then all balloons pop eventually, and it pops.
Okay.
Yeah, so we anesthetize those dogs and flush out their anal glands.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really great.
Okay.
So luckily Diesel hasn't had that.
Yeah. We don't even express his anal glands.
No, most dogs you don't have to express their anal glands.
I was going to say it. I feel like Sammy we used to have to, but that was really it.
Yeah, but most you don't.
It's gross.
But yeah, that dog came in for what was supposed to be a really quick recheck appointment, turned into taking hips and knee x-rays.
Wait, why?
Because they decided that now was the time to inform us that the dog has been limping on and off.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah, we did too. They didn't told us, and so that was a curveball on that appointment. Anal gland was healing well, but we're limping on the left hind leg pretty consistently since Thanksgiving. So we take some x-rays. That dog has actually tore its cruciate or its ACL and needs to see an orthopedic surgeon as well.
You should become an orthopedic surgeon.
Or I should just find one. Yeah, we should just hire one.
Sounds like you really need
the
one.
The lady earlier in the day, that older lady.
She was right. She's onto something.
She knew something.
She did.
Wish I had to talk to her before we opened this place. So yeah, need to go to an orthopedic surgeon for that. 4:00, we had a recheck, ear infection appointment, another easy one. 4:15 between appointments, I call a client that was from last week that I've been trying to get a hold of to tell her that her dog tested positive for heartworm disease. And again, 2 heartworm cases in one day was a lot. And this dog they had been doing everything right. They had their dog on heartworm prevention year round, and actually the manufacturer will probably cover a chunk of the treatment, which is good because we were using their product and it apparently didn't work. And so I have to go through that with them, have to go through the whole spiel again that I had at 9 a.m. about heartworm disease, but with a whole new owner. Mm-hmm. And then I got to end my day at my 4:30 appointments. One was a puppy of our senior pastor at our church. That was really fun to see them. And then they have like
a Bernedoodle?
Yeah. They had some weird name for it, like a golden mountain doodle or something, which is, I think, a Bernedoodle. Bernese mountain dog doodle, I think. Anyways. And then this tiny little like teacup sized dog that's just like kind of so ugly it's really cute. I mean, you just want to like, yeah. It's just, it like tries to play with the ball, but the ball's bigger than it. So cute.
That's so cute.
And then from 5 o'clock to like 20 after 5, I caught up on some records. I'm still not caught up. I still have phone calls to make. We're definitely behind, but we'll get to those on Wednesday.
That's good.
And that's a day in the life.
Yeah, but what does the rest of your day look like?
The rest of the day?
Yeah.
Like after 5 o'clock?
Yeah, we said from morning or from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed.
Yeah, so 5 o'clock I go and I pick up Jordan, which is honestly like, he really, like, you can be having the worst day and you go pick up Jordan or AJ, but when you go pick up Jordan and he just runs across the daycare and just like, Daddy, and he just gives you that
Daddy's
like Daddy's truck, broom broom. Yeah, and so he's like super excited to see me, and yeah, that could just make you cry thinking about it. And so then I get home, we make some dinner. I make steaks.
Yep, we had really good ribeyes last night with baked potatoes
and broccoli. One of us had broccoli.
Yeah,
it wasn't her.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, well, we'll get you there.
But while we ate it, the steaks took longer. So the boys ate. We ate dinner. Now it's like 6:30?
6:30, 6:45. I feel like Jordy's getting a little grumpy.
Yeah. We played for a little bit with them.
Yeah. And then it's bath time.
Bath at 7-ish.
Bath at 7-ish. AJ got out of the bath early, which kind of maybe was some insight into what he's going through today. He's sick today.
Yeah.
Having a fever, but he was super cold in the bath. I'm now thinking of that. And he wanted to get out.
Fine. He had a headache when I picked him up from school, and he was fine when he went to bed. Gave him medicine, and he woke up at like 10:30, just like crying his eyes out. And I went up there, and he was just on fire. I felt so bad. So
yeah,
he came down and slept in our bed. So I'm sure in about 3 days, I'll be sick for the weekend of Christmases that we have, which will be really fun.
It's usually right on course for you.
I'm always sick when we go to Florida.
Always.
So you'll probably get it, and then I'll get it like when it's time to go to Florida.
I'm resilient. Hook me up to
I've
IV
literally
fluids.
had the flu, I think, like 3 of the times.
We should go to one of those IV bars.
No. You lost me at IV.
No.
I don't go to
if you
IV
get
for
sick,
fun.
if you get sick, we're going to get IVs.
I don't get IVs for fun.
No, if you get sick, it's not for fun. I'm saying if you get sick, we're going to go get IVs. We're going to go to an IV lounge, you and I. Just get totally juiced up
Can't
before we go.
wait.
I'm excited.
I took a Zycam.
Bring it on, whatever this sickness is.
I took a Zycam. Honestly, he might just have what Jordan had, because Jordan had a fever like a week ago.
He did?
Remember? And then I got that cough.
I feel like that was 2 weeks ago.
Well, I'm just going to pretend like it's all the same.
Okay, whatever.
Anyways, but then 8 o'clock, the boys go to bed. You and I sat down for the first time together.
Yeah, and you had an emotional night about
I had a
Santa Claus.
mental breakdown about Santa Claus. And then
I had to tell her
yeah,
that he's not real.
Yeah.
She didn't take it well.
Yeah.
She's okay now, though.
I hope no kids were listening at that point when you said that.
No kids are listening to this.
What if it's in the car of their parents?
Oh, sorry.
Start crying again.
Anyways,
but that is like, this is the kind of stuff that you tell me every day. I think it's crazy to hear of like how it works or like what all you see in a day. I think people are in such a mindset of like, oh, I brought my animal in for this. And you don't even think about like all the other things that the doctor is seeing that day or whatever. So it's cool to hear from that perspective. I think let's maybe wait and I'll do mine on our next episode just because we're already like at time.
Yeah.
But I thought that was fun. I like hearing that. And now it makes sense why you don't answer when I call you sometimes.
Thank goodness. Yeah, we had the whole thing. I prefer a quick phone call when I can take it and not long text conversations.
You actually do answer, like...
I usually call you back.
Yeah. I love when he FaceTimes me. He knows I love pit bulls or dogs that have a lot of skin. So...
Yeah.
Little gremlins that come in with their little bulldogs and...
They're just... Yeah, snorting and snotting.
I just love it.
All over the place.
Is there one case that like stuck out for the day? Or was it just kind of like, do you get like numb to it?
I think that the broken leg case was a really good glimpse of the challenges of vet med, because I had husband and wife who did not see eye to eye in the room, which was getting in the way of making a decision. And then finances came into play, and I know the fix and I know we can fix it. We just have to follow the plan that I'm putting in front of you. But there's this, I've got multiple hurdles to get through, and then I got to find a clinic for you to get into.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a glimpse. But then I think that it kind of all comes together at the end of the day when I get to see just a puppy with, like, the kids are in the room, like the whole family brings a dog in, and you're like a 13-year-old, maybe a 15 or 16-year-old girl in the room, and you're looking at them and being like, you're going to have this thing until you're like, maybe till you're 30. And like, this thing is going to make your life so good.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Like, when I hear this, I'm like, wow, that sounds very stressful and overwhelming. Like, almost like, why would you choose that? But does it ever get to a point where you're like, I can't do this? Or do you like the challenge and the busy? What does that feel like? Because I know for me, like, when I'm doing projects, you're like, I don't know how you do this every day. I would hate my life. That's how I feel when I hear you talk about it. Like, I have so much respect for the profession, but I know that I could never do it. Does it feel overwhelming like that to you? Or do you love the overwhelm of it?
I wouldn't say not once in my day did I feel overwhelmed.
Good. That's great.
I love the unpredictability of my days, and that today is not the same as yesterday and is not the same as tomorrow.
Is the problem solving fun? Because I feel like I would enjoy that part.
Yeah, the problem solving is really fun. I feel like you're constantly learning something new. There's always something new. If you are a doctor, or if your doctor or your veterinarian or whatever is telling you that they know all the answers, find a new one.
Yeah.
They don't. They can find you all the answers. I do believe that. But if there is somebody in medicine that thinks that they have all the answers to forever, no chance.
Yeah. Is there anything that you want to leave them with, of something you wish people knew, or anything that you learned in the day that you want to end on?
I think it goes back. I showed you that TED Talk earlier with that veterinarian. And I think that just having a general understanding of, yes, you have a time slot for your appointment and your dog is very important during that time, but understand that if things don't go perfectly, that like there are a lot of other things going on in that moment in time that the veterinary professionals or medical professionals are juggling, and we're not perfect. We are humans, and sometimes the ball might be sort of dropped a little, but we're going to pick it back up, and find yourself a veterinarian that's willing to pick the ball back up and keep working with you.
I do think that, like, being with you has given me more perspective. Like, a lot of times I feel like every time you go to the doctor, you wait forever, like in the waiting room, like human medicine, or it's like, why have I been waiting for so long? Or like, this is crazy or whatever. But someone else in another room, like, clearly there's a reason why they're behind. And those things are probably worse things than what you're dealing with. And they wish that all they had to do was sit there and wait. Yeah,
let me be clear. We're not ever behind because we're just sitting scrolling Facebook on our phones.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, that's the perspective I think people need to have in the doctor's office or veterinary hospitals.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere. Just give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. So that would be my takeaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot to do that 5 days a week.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
I love that you love it. I think it's cool. We talked about, if you missed it, and I think it was our first episode, about his journey to becoming a veterinarian is just so God. And it was so cool how you almost didn't get to do this, and now how passionate you are about it. I just think it's really cool. So if you haven't listened to that one, go back and listen to it. And then next week we'll do my day in the life. Because it's very different. And I don't even know that you know what I do all day.
Yeah, I feel like since opening the clinic, I'm just not around as much. And so, yeah.
I do a lot too in my day.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. It's on Instagram.
Yeah.
Clearly you do a lot.
I maximize every hour of my day behind the scenes.
You sure do.
Okay.
Cool.
Right,
I can't wait.
We'll see you next week.
See you next time.
Bye.